Welcome, everybody, back to the Nuggets of Gold podcast and YouTube channel. I hope all of you are having a great week. We got a great victory on Monday. Now, Jaguars are coming up next week, and I think there was some news that I would take it as positive news. I don't want to really rip a guy who gets cut, but Dre Kirkpatrick was cut. I do think overall that is a positive thing. Most of the reason has nothing to do with him. However, I will say his short stint in San Francisco was not very good. Subs in at the end of the Colts game, gets mossed by Michael Pittman, then comes in the Cardinals game, gets ran over by, it was Ito Benjamin, who's their third string back, really struggled. And although he's had a very, very long and pretty successful career, I would definitely say, I think the best days are behind them. So I think this makes a ton of sense in terms of a move for the 49ers. Now, I think my biggest question is, why was this not done sooner? I think right away you saw, okay, Dre Kirkpatrick's not a guy that's going to help this team a ton. However, there are two young corners on this depth chart. Now, one of them is a guy that I think the idea was always to have a redshirt season. And actually, both of them, Kyle Shanahan did say that both of them, he planned to have a redshirt season for both Deommodore Lenoir and Ambry Thomas. However, I think Deommodore Lenoir right now is a much better player than Dre Kirkpatrick. And so I think that he should be the one benefiting most from this roster move of cutting Dre Kirkpatrick. Deommodore Lenoir played a lot more early in the first month of the year. And then we saw his playing time get cut down. He was inactive. He was inactive 1 week because of personal matters. And it's been a little bit weird on his front, especially when you've had so much struggle in the cornerback room and in the secondary overall. Now, there's one other guy that could potentially benefit from Dre Kirkpatrick being cut. That is Dante Johnson. I would much rather have Deommodore Lenoir have playing time and be the first man off the bench for the 49ers than Dante Johnson. Every 49er fan knows who Dante Johnson is. He has played on this team for, it feels like, 100 years. It honestly feels like that. Almost my whole time as a younger 49er fan, he's been on this team, it feels like, especially with this regime under Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. Another guy. I don't know how they benefit from playing him over these younger guys. Now, I will say, I think the only guy in terms of the two rookies that should be playing is Deommodore Lenoir. I think Ambry Thomas is very raw. However, Deommodore Lenoir, he fits into what this team wants to do. Now, I know that their future plans are for him to take over the nickel spot where K'Wan Williams is at. Still, earlier this year, against the Eagles especially, he showed that he can play outside. He's a very sticky player. He has great reaction time on stuff. You definitely see him just hang around the receiver. If the receiver cuts in, he's going to cut in. He's going to make a break on that ball. He did that early on in the camp. He did a lot of times, especially downfield passes. They were testing him a lot early on in the year. They were trying to go pick on him when he was that number 2 corner, and he hung in there. He hung in there more than most rookie corners can do, let alone more than most fifth-round rookie cornerbacks can do. So this is a guy that I thought should have earned more playing time with his performance early on in the season, and it got cut down. So with this move of Dre Kirkpatrick being cut, I really, really, really want to see Deommodore Lenoir as the first corner off the bench. I think he is a guy that can be a future starter for many years to come. He's a 5th-round pick. If you can hit on 5th-round picks, I mean, we've seen what the Niners have done in the 5th round. That is a massive get for them. You have a guy that is on a very cheap contract for after the season 3 more years. If he can be a contributor, that is huge in how you pay players and who you have the ability to go after in free agency, because cornerback has been such a revolving door for the 49ers in this Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch regime, that having him there, giving him playing time, letting him be that first guy off the bench. Say this week they go and they blow out the Jags, put him in. Let him get some looks. Let him get some reps. Same goes for Ambry Thomas. Now, I know they did that in the Detroit game, and it did not look good. That's why I would say Deommodore Lenoir is the first guy off the bench. He should be that guy. If he was to take over Josh Norman's spot, I don't think that's something that I'm calling for now or anything like that, but I wouldn't be super upset with that either. I think that he's a guy that, in terms of manning up on guys, this season, I think he has been one of the better players in the secondary at doing that. Of course, Jimmy Ward, I think he's been the best cover guy there for a long time. K'Wan Williams, great cover guy. I wouldn't say Emmanuel Mosley is a great man-on-man corner. He's a pretty solid corner overall. Norman's all right, but he gets kind of burnt downfield a good amount. Now, he does make he does make some big plays in terms of punching the ball out and tackling around the line of scrimmage a little more than the average corner. And I know that Josh Norman has had a couple rough cases in his career making tackles. However, for the most part, he's okay at that. He's solid at that. And I think they have a lot more faith in a veteran player like him than a guy like Diamonor Lenore, having that outside, having that contain if the play bounces way outside. Still, Diamonor Lenore is a great man-up corner. The only way he is going to get better, I believe, is by putting him on the field, having him learn, having him get burned a couple times. And I do think that he should be the first guy off the bench. And if there's any injuries, he should be that guy that has been up. And it seemed like that was the plan going into the year. And this middle of the season, it hasn't really been like that. Let's have it look like the beginning of the year. Let's have him go out there. If he earns a starting job, let him go get it. But I think he is the guy that should benefit the most from this. I do believe he is a future starter for this team for many years to come. I thought he looked excellent early on. And he was a guy that a lot of people questioned the pick. I remember when he did get taken, a lot of people on Twitter like, John Lynch, this dude's getting toasted left and right. He looks really good. He looked really good in camp. He's been getting the most praise. So finally, let's get this dude some playing time a little bit more. I would love to see it. I think that is a big move. One of the spots I think that a lot of people have been very critical of the 49ers is not having their younger players go and play. And the plan was definitely to have a lot of these guys redshirt this season, all the rookie players, because there's so many veterans on this roster. However, if your corners are struggling, if your secondary is struggling, and it didn't against the Rams, but it has in prior games, definitely, let these young guys go have a chance to play. Let them go and compete. And I think Diamonor Lenore, I think by cutting Dre Kirkpatrick, it shows, all right, we have more faith in a guy like Diamonor Lenore to get it done than we do this veteran player that has proven that he's not really the same guy he once was. So let's give Diamonor Lenore some playing time. And if not, have him be that first guy off the bench over Dante Johnson and also over Ambry Thomas. So that is going to do it for me today. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think moving Diamonor Lenore up the depth chart is the best case for the 49ers now that Dre Kirkpatrick was cut? Or do you think Ambry Thomas, Dante Johnson, would you rather go with the veteran route with him? What are your guys' thoughts? Let me know. But that is going to do it for me today. Thank you all for listening, and I'll talk very soon.